Happy Tuesday. How are we all doing? How are we all doing? Welcome, welcome. If you want to invest, you don't know how to do it, this is for you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Awesome. Welcome, welcome here. Happy Tuesday to you. So let's invite a friend over and get it started. Let's get it started. Let's get the party started. It's about how to invest the right way. Okay. That is what we're talking about today. All right. We keep showing up, right? We keep showing up. So, welcome. How are you doing? It's Tuesday. So, you've been trying to invest, you don't know how to go about it. This is for you. Because it's if you are just all that you do with your money is that you save it, you realize that you're not building wealth. Because yes, it's going to be safe, right? Even though it's not fully safe because inflation is taking 3.3% of it. But then how then do you grow it? How do you hedge against that inflation? How do you grow the money? Because aside protection, you also want to grow your money because growing your money is what is going to help you build wealth. And that's what we're talking about today. How to invest. You don't know how to invest, but you want to figure out how to invest, then you are in the right place. That's what all that we're talking about today. Farouk, welcome, and every other person joining. Happy Tuesday. How are you today? Welcome, welcome. Awesome. Thank you so much for tapping out the live. You know the drill because we get to 10,000 taps in 10 minutes. Thank you so much for doing that. And welcome, welcome. Happy Tuesday. How's your Tuesday coming? How's the Tuesday coming? Yeah, it's been pretty quiet on my end. And, I hope it gets better, right? Just preparing for Saturday for the smart investing workshop, as well as, my daily work and all of that I get to do. Happy, happy. Oh, you're fine with you always, doctor. Everything is better this side. That's amazing. That is super great. So good to have you. So good to have you. So we're talking about how to start investing. Probably you've heard about investing. How do you invest? You don't know how to go about it, and all of that. That's what this is all about. You've been thinking about how to invest, but you do not know where to start. This is for you. Farouk, do you want to come up? Are because I see that you send a request. Do you want to come up? Let me know so that I put a message in the comment. So welcome, and if you are just meeting me, I'm Dr. Lina. I'm Doctor of Business and Technology, not a doctor of medicine, and I'm a doctor of finance, of businesses, and of course, helping you grow your money. So I turn your 9 to 5 into real wealth, understanding that if all that you do is to take your income and you use it on expenses, you realize that you're not growing it. Unfortunately, if what you also do is to save your money, you're not also growing it. You are also losing the money, not just growing, because inflation is taking it at 3.3%, but it's growing at a 0.01%. And the only avenue or strategy for you to grow it, right? It's basically something called investing. Thank you so much for the roses. So welcome, welcome everyone, and thank you for sharing the live. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for the follow. So if you have been thinking about investing because you already know that you're losing your money to just saving, then this is for you. You want to come around, you want to invite your friends. Let's talk about it because we're going to be breaking down the step by step. Either you're a beginner, either you're trying to scale, either you got it wrong, you lost money investing before. Yes, this is how you do it the right way without you losing money, but of course, ways that you're doing it that is less risky, managing your money properly. So, and basically, where do you really start when it comes to investing? The first step of this is for you to start building something called your capital. Like the beginning is basically what are you, because you're supposed to, it requires you to have money, right? A little bit of money. And one of the things people always think about is if I want to invest, it requires a lot of money. It requires tens of thousands of dollars. It takes a lot. But no, that's just the myth. Gone are the days, even with your little money, with your little income, right? You can definitely invest, right? I always say something. In as much you're able to pay taxes, right? And hold on, Farouk, are you trying to come up? Because I see that you keep requesting. Let me know. Put in the comment. Let me know if you want to come up with just an error, right? So basically, so far you are earning an income, right? You are paying taxes on that income. You want to ensure that you are investing that money, no matter how little, right? You can pay taxes, then you should also invest some of it. P5, welcome. Daughter of Year, welcome. And everyone that is coming in, we try to get to 10, we try to get to 10,000 taps in the first 10 minutes. So I appreciate all of you doing that. Thank you so much as you do that. So basically, we're talking about how to invest, right? So if you've been on the sideline, you'll be thinking, I want to invest, I want to put some money aside, right? But I don't know how to go about it because I hear people losing money. I mean, it's not even the fear. I don't know how to get it started. All these things that they're talking about, I don't know how to go about it. That is what we're here about. We're going to be talking about it step by step so you can gain an understanding, be well informed, and you are able to start putting money aside and start investing. Not just when you invest, that is the only way you grow your money. If your money sits in the bank, it's just losing it to inflation. You're losing close to 3.3% to inflation, and you are only getting, and if you are lucky enough, 0.01%. If in your traditional bank, that's what you get. It means that you're losing about 3.499%. That's 3.2999%. That's what you're losing, right? So how then do you make sure that you don't lose your money but then grow it? It's something called investing. But then investing is also risky. How then do you invest without losing your money? That's what we are here for. And the step by step, right? How you're going to go about it, even as a beginner, even as somebody that's invested in past, lost money, this is what it's for you. And I'm going to break it as simple as possible for you, right? As simple as possible. And you're just meeting me. I'm Dr. Lina. I'm Doctor of Business and Technology, and I am professional. I help professional turn their income into wealth, right? Building wealth, right? That is what I do here. Where am I viewing you from? I'm in Texas, Doctor of Yahweh. Where are you connecting from? And all of you, if you can also put where you're connecting from, that would be absolutely amazing. The other day, I had somebody join from China. I have people join from India. It's so good. We are just a global community. Baltimore, that's amazing. So good to have you from Baltimore. How are you doing? How you doing in Baltimore today? Welcome, welcome here. Awesome. And let's keep tapping out the life. And those on YouTube as well, how are you all doing? Let me know where you're connecting from. And thank you so much for connecting, and thank you so much for subscribing. You're here on a good ride because you're going to learn how to invest. Farouk is all the way from Nigeria. That is absurd. How is motherland, right? How is motherland? Thank you so much for the follow as well. Thank you so much for the follow. Thank you for tapping out the live. Thank you for all that you're doing. Even trusting to listen to me, that means a lot, right? That means a lot. So thank you for subscribing, and thank you for the follow. Thank you for tapping out the live, and thank you for getting your daily at me. So you want to invest, you don't know where. Okay, everywhere is fine. From Gambia. Wow, that's beautiful. Hi, it's Gambia. Wow, Meta 2 is saying is connecting from Gambia. So good to have you. So good. I feel so privileged to have everyone, all over the world. That is absolutely amazing. That's what the social space gets to do, right? And everything we're talking about right here today about investing, it's not limited to any walls of any country. That's one beautiful thing. It's something that is universal across board. So if you are in Nigeria, you are in Gambia, you are in the US, you are in Europe, you are in the Middle East, everywhere, Asia, you can invest your money. The strategy is the same thing. It's just that how you go about it might be different. That's just the only thing. But the same thing, inflation is applicable globally as well. In places like Nigeria or in some African country, it's even double digits in terms of inflation. And what do I mean by inflation? Inflation is at which your value of your money depreciates, right? Your purchasing power depreciate, even though you're still holding 1 naira, 100 naira, I don't know the currency in Gambia. $100, 100 naira, you realize that what you were able to use that 100 naira or $100 to buy last year, it's not the same thing this year. You're going to be buying something lesser. That's what it means. And as a matter of fact, this one you do not have any control over it. You don't have any control over inflation because it's something called the microeconomy, so you cannot control it. So, and that's why, how then do you edge against it? It's what we're calling inflation. Okay, I mean, it's what is called investing. So, just so I know who we have in the audience, if you're a beginner investor, put one. If you are an advanced investor, put three. And if you're intermediate, put two, right? You've been investing for a while, you're a pro, you do all of those things. Put three in the comment. If you have not even started investing, put one. And if you're intermediate, you just have like a 401k and all of those kind of retirement funds, okay, one. We have one. That's great. That is great. So we have a beginner investor. Okay. All right. We have one as well. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. You are in the right place. You are absolutely in the right place. And you are absolutely doing the right thing. Any other person that wants to comment about the stage, let's keep it coming. All right. Let me know where you're connecting from. Are you a beginner investor? Are you an intermediate too? And if you're advanced investor, put three. So if you're just joining, we're talking about how to start investing as a beginner, right? As a beginner, okay? That's what we're talking about today. Three reasons, and let's talk about what are the reasons why people do not invest. Because right now, everybody knows that it's very important that we invest. Right now, almost everybody knows that, because at least we just established it that if you're not investing your money, you are losing it to inflation. So even if you did not know that before, now you know. So it's important that you invest, because that's the only way you grow your money. But why then, for people that already know, why still are they still not investing? And I'll tell you the things that have come up in my inbox every single time, right? Or when I'm talking to clients or doing one-on-one, these are things that come up, right? And you can put your own as well. So one is, they are confused. People are confused. I don't know how to get started. This thing, they just keep saying investing. Am I going to do it in the bank? Is it just like a regular bank account? How do I even go about it, right? They don't know, because of course your 9 to 5 is already taking your Monday to Friday. So then the weekend you're already thinking of relaxing, and then you don't even want to add all of this to it. Yes, I understand. That is, trust me, a lot of people are on this same table that we're talking about, doing the same thing. This is the reason why a lot of people are not investing. And a lot of time it's more like the one that your employer forces you to do, which is the 401k or the retirement fund. That's the only one that people get to do, right? And then people have the savings account because they got a job and they are required to open a bank account. And boom, that is where it ends, right? And they don't want to do any other thing, okay? But it is because they are confused. And like I said, there's no school for this that we're talking about. No school. So not your fault. The other thing is that people do not want to lose their money, right? People don't want to lose their money. A lot of times there is, for sure, there is risk in investing in the stock market, because you are putting your money in the public trading space and saying that, okay, I'm putting my money here, and you're trusting that they're going to be, it's invested, but you don't know the future. You don't know if this business is going to do well. Even if you do your research, there are times when you're like, okay, something might happen, I might lose my money, right? That is the other thing. The other thing is that a lot of times people think, oh, I don't want to, it takes a lot of money to invest in the stock market, or to invest at all in general, right? A lot of people think like that. But this last one, I can already dismiss that, because even as little as $1, you can invest. As little with $1, right? You can invest. So at least that one, we've already settled that one. That one is easy. $1. What does this mean? You can, gone are the days when you want to buy a stock, right? And I'm not saying penny stock, right? Penny stock are like $1 stock. Thank you, Maya Listic. Welcome in, and every other person tapping out the live. Really appreciate all of you being here. All right. We're tapping out the light as we're locked in. And Basically, we're talking about how to start investing, even as a beginner, step by step. That's what we're talking about. Understanding that if you put your money in just sitting in the bank, inflation is taking 3.3%. That's the inflation rate in the United States right now, as of today. 3.3%. It means that you're even that money that you have right there in the bank is losing its value at 3.3%. Means that what you use your money to purchase last year, your purchasing power has reduced by 3.3% by this year, basically, because you can't buy the same thing using the same money. You're going to get less with that same money, amount of money right now. That's what it means. So investing is the way for you to make sure that you edge against inflation, not just edge against inflation, but also grow your money, right? Because when you grow your money, that's how you build wealth, and that's how you are able to buy back your time and gain financial freedom. And that's what all of this is all about. So the last part of it that we're talking about is people think that they require a lot of money. How much then do you require to start investing? As little as $1. That's like the minimum paper currency. Gone are the days when people would say that, okay, you want to buy a stock, and that stock, you have to buy the entire unit of that stock, or an entire unit of that basket of funds. Gone are the days. Now you can buy fractional shares, right? With $1. I have $1. That's what I will say, that I want to buy Amazon. Amazon, I don't know how much it is right now. Maybe $500. Let's say that's the unit of the stock, right? Of Amazon. You can say that I want to buy $1 worth of Amazon. That is what is called fractional shares. So you do not have, nobody has an excuse. Mr. Ben, welcome. You really don't have an excuse anymore, because $1, I mean, $1 is nothing, right? People even throw it away as it's almost like a throwaway, right? There's absolutely nothing that you can buy with $1 right now, but you can use it to start investing. That's a power of investing, and the most important part of it is consistency. When you're consistent with it, you realize that you start growing your wealth. But the thing that is very, very important in all of this that I've just said is, you know, being consistent. Whenever you are investing, regardless of the amount, you have to be consistent, right? Consistency is absolutely key. So if you are doing your $1, be consistent with $1. If you're doing your $50, be consistent with $50. And whenever you have the opportunity to grow, maybe there is a job change, or you got a salary increase, you got a bonus, you got a side hustle, you got a gift, be intentional to put it towards there, right? Important thing is that for you even to get started first, right? And that's why the $1 or whatever amount is very important. But then also stay consistent. Thank you all for tapping out the live, right? Because the reason why this is very important is every delay, every single year that you delay, or every single month that you delay not investing, is taking time away from you. It's taking away growth. Ajay, thank you so much for tapping out the life, and everyone tapping out the life. Every single day that you're waiting, saying, oh, you know what, I'm going to do it tomorrow, I'm going to do it next month, next paycheck, you're indirectly losing money. How? Because, if you're doing it consistently and you're getting some form of return, no matter how little on it, that is what compounding does. There's something that they call rule of 72. Rule of 72 explains how long it takes you to double your money. That's rule of 72. How long? So you've been wondering, how long does it take you to double your money? It's just basically using the base of calculation on total rate interest, your rate of return, which is your interest. You do the calculation and you see it right there. If you put it in the minimum of an S&P 500, your money will double in less than 7 years. So it means that if you have $5,000, it becomes $10,000 in 10 years, in 7 years. So it might be like, oh, that's a long time, but guess what? you double your money, and of course it is also safe. If you put it, leave it in the bank, right? Your Bank of America, Chase, whatever, all of those kind of banks, where they give you 0.01%, what you realize is that just at 0.01%, what you get is your money is going to double. Your money, for you money to double, it's going to take 144 years. Yes, you heard me. 144 years. What does this mean? Using the same rate of return calculation, that is what you're going to get. So it means that your money is never going to double in your lifetime. So it is not even an option. Not even putting your money in the bank is not an option at all, right? So that's why you take your money, put it in a safe in an investment, right? So that it can double as quickly. And there's something called compound interest, in case you have not heard this before. Compound interest is how your money compounds, right? Like how your money grows, the rate at which your money grows. They call it the eighth wonder of the world. It means that, so think about it. We talked about your money, your 5,000. Can you invest without a permanent job? Absolutely, daughter of Yahweh. You do not need a permanent job. You don't need, just think about it. And I'll ask back to your question. So I'll answer your question with another question. Can you open a bank account and put money in the bank account without a permanent job? Right? Can you open a regular bank account without a permanent job? Can you save money in the bank? Absolutely, the same way. So just that's an amazing question. So that drives home the point, right? So that drives home the point for you. You don't need a job. You don't need, so far you know where your money is coming from. You're putting it in there. That's all that matters, right? It's not, yeah. So you do not just think about it as a bank account. The only difference is that the bank account is growing, right? Just think about it that way. It's not a bank account, it's an investment account, right? It's an investment. Fidelity or Robinhood, it depends. Both of them, they are absolutely amazing. Like Fidelity, I would always say, the way I always think about it, I have both of them, by the way. Fidelity, I have Robinhood. Fidelity, I use it for something that is long term. And whenever it's something like my big money, right? Something that is my big money, like my Roth IRA, like my things that is long term, Roth IRA will take you maybe till 65. Something that is, reason why I do that, it's because with that, Fidelity has been around for so long. So think about for those in the US, think about your Fidelity, your Bank of America, Chase, or Wells Fargo, right? The top three investments, or the most popular investment houses, are Vanguard, Fidelity, and Charles Schwab. Of course, we have some other ones like Merrill Lynch is linked to Bank of America. JP Morgan is linked to Chase, right? That's why it's JP Morgan Chase. And there's Ameritrade. There's so many of them. But then, and so Fidelity is a good one for, I would even say that whenever it's something long term like Robinhood, like your Roth IRA and all of that, HST and all of that, do it with Fidelity. Now your play money, like your brokerage account, your vacation money, all those money that you want to, there's not a lot. I'd say Robinhood. The reason why I put that my own play money in Robinhood is because, it's more like a fun game, whatever. So it's easy for me to just play around with it. Another reason is, and why don't I put a lot of money or my big money or long term, is because Robinhood has just been around for not so long, maybe less than 10 years, right? They've not been so long, and then it's online. I want something that is established. I don't want stories, protection first. So, but you can have both. You can have, you can have both, as a matter of fact, if that answers your question. How much is the minimum amount to invest? What about an emergency fund? The minimum amount for you to invest $1. That's I'm not even going, I'm just using that as, that's the minimum current, minimum bill, right? Minimum bill, right? $1. So because you can buy fractional, right? The other day I did show how we bought on Robinhood, we bought VOO for $1, a $1 worth of VOO, just to show you that it doesn't require any minimum. Any amount you're buying fractionally, you're just going to change it to dollar versus the funds, okay? dollar versus the fund. And you said, what about emergency fund? Your emergency fund should go into your high yield savings account. What are high yield savings account? High yield savings account is like you said, savings account. The other one is the investment account. As a matter of fact, the two of them is two of this is one of the four accounts that you need to have as an individual. Like four accounts that you are supposed to have. One, so you are touching it. Your savings account is one of those accounts, and it is supposed to house your emergency fund. So, great question. What are emergency funds? Emergency fund is your monthly expense, right? Multiplied by 3 to 6 months, right? So that your monthly expense, and what are your monthly expense? It's not those shoes, it's not those purse, not that. It's just four things: your basic needs, so your housing, which is your mortgage or your rent. Number two is your groceries, which is feeding, a little bit of clothing, like your basic need, your groceries. Number three is your utilities, your light, electricity, your heating, your water, and all of that. And number four is your transportation. So of course you have to transport from one place to the other to get to that job that is going to give you that income. Those are the basic needs of life that will keep you going. And that could be bus pass, that could be car note, that could be the cost of the gas. And those are that. So once you have that four, right, for 1 month, right, start. If you don't have any of this emergency fund at all, start with 1 month. That's what you need to start with. Once you've built 1 month, increase it to 3 months, then increase it to 6 months. If you are self-employed, you want to have close to one year, right? You want to have 12 months. Because the reason for emergency fund is, like it says, emergency. In a situation where there's a job loss, in a situation where there's health issues or major repairs, you are not go into debt, right? You don't go and start using, fall back on your credit card or all of taking, all those payday loans, because you have already protection. That is your protection layer. Okay. So it goes into your high yield savings account. And what is an high yield savings account? I mean, high yield savings accounts are basically high yield, just your regular bank account, but it just gives you a better interest. So like a 0.01% is what you get with your regular bank, your traditional bank, Bank of America, Chase, or Wells Fargo. But with the high yield savings account, you can get between 3 to 6%, right? So the East Capital one, 3.3%. If you want the code, I can send it to you. Send me a DM. I can send you the code. Then you can also get $300 or something when you see the terms. Another one is Vero that gives you 5%. Another one is SoFi that gives you 4%. There's Barclays, there's Marcos, there's so many of them. There's even people that put the money in credit. Credit union also have this program. So go to your credit union and ask them, what are the high yield savings savings programs, right? Vehicles that they have. And they will tell you, if they don't have it, then, you're not a tree. Move your money so that you get a return on the investment. To bring it to perspective, with $10,000, the $10,000 a year, with your bank, your traditional bank, you get 0.01%. What your return that you get is $1. $1 a whole year, 12 months on 10,000 with a 0.01%. However, if you put the same thing in your higher savings account, just like a Capital One, 3.3%, that is $330 a year, doing nothing, just simple decision, just reclassing, moving from here to here, basically. And in some cases, not even moving. It might just be in the same bank, but the only thing is that you switch the account class, and that is it. Boom. If you do a Vero, I think it's 5%. That is $500 a year. But you are getting it every month. You have access. Like I said, it's your basic bank account. It's just the only difference is just the savings that is higher, right? So what are the IE Savings Bank in Baltimore? I am new less than 6 months. Oh, absolutely. Just go on Google, right? Go on Google, and basically just go on Google, type IE Savings account. The best IE Savings is this week is already May, right? We're already in May. Best IE Savings account in May 2026. May 2026 or in April 2026, right? One is Capital One. I can tell you that SoFi is an online bank. Vero is an online bank. Online bank. Capital One is, it's almost like your Bank of America, Chase or Wells Fargo, is all over the United States, right? And in other countries, so for people in Nigeria, my Nigerians, I know that the interests are even higher, about close to like you could get 15 to 20% in terms of the same high yield savings account. That's what you can also get. Thank you so much for the follow. That's also what you can get in your country. I know in Gambia, because I know people, the people that have joined here in Gambia. Just check what are the high yield savings accounts available and do it. That even the That's not investing at all, because your money is guaranteed up to, like in the United States, if once the bank is FDIC insured. So you want to check the review and check that it's FDIC insured. It means that if you have up to $250,000 in that account, in case the bank goes down, you or whatever, your money is protected, and the government is government backed, and your money is going to return, you will be returned back to you by the government. So it's 100% protected, right? In the IU service account. 007 said this and this. Absolutely. Thank you so much for that. I hope you have followed, and let's keep tapping out the live. And of course, share the live with friends and family. If you find this helpful, share it with your friends and families. And today we're talking about how to start investing. I hope that helps. I hope that answers your question, Dr. Aviari. I hope that answers your question. Yeah, just let me know if you still want to know more. But great. And today it's about how to start investing as a beginner, right? Or you've lost money before and you just want to get back and try it again. Yeah, that is what we're talking about here. And I'm Dr. Lina, I'm Doctor of Business and Technology, and I help professionals turn their 9 to 5 into real wealth. Understanding that how you grow your money is when you put it towards investing, right? Because inflation is taking your money if it's just sitting in that bank at 3.3%, but then all that you're getting is 0.01%. So the minimum that you can do is put it in an IU savings account. Now, if you want to take it a step further, right? It is called something called investing, and you can start with any amount, $1. Nobody is investing for you, please. If the disclaimer, do not allow anybody, because there's so many things on social media space right now where you hear people bring your money, let invest for you. Please do not do that. Do not, right? Open your investment account yourself, put your money in there yourself, invest in it yourself, right? Because that's how people are being scammed. Because protection is number one. Protect your money and then you can grow, right? Because if there's no protection, you lose your money, right? There's nothing to even grow. So let's start with protection first, then you are now growing, right? Which is what we're talking about today. So for me, here it's not a get rich quick scheme. Here is about generational wealth and steady growth in terms of your fund, right? Steady growth. Okay, so people are confused. Maybe you're one of that. People are scared of losing money. Yes, that could be you. But then it could be that you think it's a lot of money. Now you don't, you know that it doesn't require a lot of money, right? And for the Nigerian community, and because I have Nigerians, I have Gambian here. Yeah, so think about money market. At least you can put your money in treasury bill. It's about 19 to 20% return, which is absolutely crazy. You will never get that in the United States. Absolutely great, crazy. Your money either in the primary or secondary market. You can do it with investment one. You can do it with Stanbic IBTC. You can do it with Bamboo and all of that. That is for people that in Africa, because that is it's another strategy right there. Aside from the IU savings account, you can actually do that treasury bill in terms of instead of IU savings account, right there. And here, some people talk about currency deposit like CD and all of that. That's about IU savings account that you get from IU savings account, because they give about 3 to 4% right now. So is it worth it to lock your money for 3 months, for 6 months, versus putting in an IU savings account? I think IU savings account is better, because it's just like your regular, except you just want to have discipline to say, I don't want to spend this money for the next 3 months. Then you can lock it in a CD for that period, and that's the way it works. So here's the truth. You do not need a lot of money to start investing. $1 is what you need, because through fractional shares buying. So, and then the other part of it is that you need the right system. It's not about how much you start with, right? It's about how to start consistently. So consistency is key. So you said IE savings account. What does that mean? IE savings account. I'm not sure. If all that you're putting your money is you put it in the savings account, right? You're not growing it. You're not, right? If you are just basically I mean, it depends on the savings account. If it's an IE saving, I yield. You say IE. Like I low. Low. High. I yield. Like I return savings account. I return savings account. So I yield savings account. I get what you're saying, Eunice. I hope that got the SoFi, Capital One, American Express, Fort Bright, Peak Bank. Yeah, there's so many of them. Thank you so much, daughter of Yahweh. Thank you. Yes, I use savings account. Yes. So that's the minimum, right? Barest minimum, right? Because it just helps you to edge against that inflation at 3%, right? The 3.3%. Your money is not growing, but at the same time, you are not losing. You're just keeping it. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Awesome. And thank you so much, daughter of Yahweh, putting that right there, because all of these ones, right, they are just look at their review, whichever one. Stop picking, don't stress yourself about it. Just look at it and just look at the one that's close to you. Look at their review and just do it, right? Because in the process of you waiting, what you realize is that you might just get carried away with something else. Do it right there and get it done. And thank you all for tapping out the life. So in terms of investing, it's not about how much you start with. It's not about how much you put in, even though that helps. But what basically helps is you having to ensure that you are doing it consistently. So I say this, if you're saying that, yes, I make money, but the money is not enough, the bill is not enough, I put it to you. I put it to you, even with your minimum wage, right? I mean, that's the minimum. With your minimum wage, you are paying taxes, and you're saying that you still make sure you pay taxes, right? So that's the same reason. As the minimum that you can use in investing, let's say $1, it means that even with your minimum wage, you should pay yourself first, regardless. $1, just do it. The day that your income start growing, right, then you realize that, oh, you know what, let me start investing more. But the only thing is that if you're doing that $1, do it like a clockwork. Every paycheck, let that $1 be there. And then the day that you get salary increase or whatever, increase it to $5. And like that, before you know it, it becomes a lot of money, right? A lot of money. And that's how I started investing close to 20 years ago. When I started my career with Procter and Gamble, I started doing, they were doing stock options, right? When I buy, for every unit I buy, the company is paying, giving me additional, they're matching, right? They're matching, and that helped me grow my money, right? And that's how you do it. Over time, it's grown. I started buying at the cost of Procter and Gamble was like maybe $35 or something at that time. Now is going to close to like $200, right? On top of that, I'm getting dividends, and that is how you invest. It's not about how much, right? It's about how far, right? How far, no, it's not how far, but how well, right? How well. The consistency is very, very key. So let me simplify it for beginners. Whatever I talk about here, whenever it comes to investing, like I said, I always talk about protection first. And the first thing that I always do when I talk about protection, because I don't want to lose your money, is I talk about something called ETF. ETF is called exchange traded funds, because there is the risk, unlike IU savings account that give you 3 to 5%. If you invested in stock market, you get a higher interest rate, but the higher returns, not interest, because it's returns, higher returns. But then there's also the risk of you losing money in the stock market. Maybe you would have heard people saying that they lost money in the stock market. I also had my own fair share. I lost close to 100,000 buying individual stock like penny stock, day trading, and options trading. because I did not have the knowledge. And I was trying to do a get rich quick scheme right there until I started using the strategy of ETF, which I call smart investing. What is ETF? Maybe you've heard it or you have not heard it. ETF simply means exchange traded funds, right? Exchange traded funds. What does it mean? It's a fund that is exchanged and is traded. Just kidding. It's just a basket of stocks, right? What is stocks, right? You're a beginner. What is stocks? Stock is a way for you to own part of a company. So remember, I talked about $1, right? $1. How do that $1, whenever you invest it, right? That's it. You're investing in an individual stock. So think about it. Coca-Cola is everybody knows about soda, right? Coca-Cola, universal. Coca-Cola. You can say that, oh, I love Coca-Cola, but I also want to invest. I want to just not be a consumer. I want to be an owner of Coca-Cola, and I want to be investing $1 or $10 or $100 every single paycheck. And then you start investing, and that's how you become an owner of Coca-Cola, just with your $100 every single paycheck or every month or $1, whichever amount, right? But then when you now have, so that is you investing in a company. So for instance, another example, a lot of people have iPhone, and you, right, iPhone, Android, or whatever. The owner of iPhone is the company that produces iPhone is Apple, right? That is the company that produces iPhone. You can say that, okay, for every single time that you are, instead of you upgrading your iPhone every single year, that money that you're using to do that upgrade, I'm going to use it to own Apple because I love Apple so much. That's why I'm upgrading every year. But no, now I am smarter. I am not going to be upgrading every year anymore. I will put my money into owning Apple, right? Owning iPhone itself. And every single year you buy part of Apple, or you buy the shares or stock of Apple, right? And that is how you own shares. So stock is more like you sharing part of this company because you're putting it in in the public traded stock exchange. You're putting it there and you're using it to buy it, right? That is what stock and shares or whatever shenanigans that they call it. That's what it means. I hope you understand that. Okay. Put one if you understand, if that is clear. Put one in the comment if that is clear, right? You understand what stock is now, because this is beginners. I'm not talking, beginners or one. Okay, great. You understand? Okay. Any other person? Sika said one. Sika baby said one. Any other person? Very clear. Stocks. Okay, perfect. It's clear. Any other person? Just confirm one, one, one. I want to see many ones. Just so that if you don't understand, please just put 0 if you don't understand, and I'll take it one more time. Put 0 if you don't understand. 2, okay, you understand. Okay, all right, great. Now 0 dot. Okay, Dr. Yahweh. Okay, stock is, all right. Think about what's a popular company, right? Okay, a Walmart. Okay, Walmart. Everybody, or a store, right? Because you buy, you can decide to, that people own that company as a Walmart company, right? It's not owned by individuals, it's owned by a group of individuals, right? What's one popular company that or something that you buy, right? It's own, let's say Starbucks. A lot of people take coffee. Starbucks is a coffee company, right? So a group of people owns this company, but this group of people, it's the public, right? Anybody that buys, if you decide to say that, okay, I love Starbucks, and you put your $1, you become an owner of Starbucks. With whatever amount you become, it's not like the total amount, but to the value that you invested in this company, right? To that value. How then do you buy it? You are buying it through the investment houses, and it's going to connect, but you can invest. Just think about you getting ownership, right? Being ownership of a particular, and you can do it for any company that is publicly traded on the Nigeria Stock Exchange, the US Stock Exchange, the Asia Stock Exchange, the European Stock Exchange, or you can trade it there. Canadian Stock Exchange, right? Because it's publicly traded, right? Individual, so it's like individual are having the opportunity to own part of that company with their contribution or with their investment, how much they put in that company. And what is that going to do? Whenever they are growing, right? They are making profit. They are making losses, right? They are making profit. They are making losses. You are also going to be sharing out of that profit and making sharing out of that losses. All right. So that's why the risk is there. Whenever you invest in a company, you can either be profitable or you can actually make a loss, right? You can lose that your $1 or $100, or you can grow that your $100. But you want to be on this side of the spectrum, which is to grow your money, right? That's where you want to be. Grow it, okay? So you want companies that are profitable. Otherwise, if you put your money, you put your dollars in a particular company and they lose it, right? They made a loss. It means that because it's your money that they use to do the business, right? It's your money that you're using to operate the business. So if they lose the money, you lose money. Okay, that's how. I hope that explains it. I hope you understand now, daughter of Yahweh, and any other person. I hope you understand it. Put one if it's not very clear. All right. Now, okay, perfect, perfect. Thank you so much for confirming. Now, let's now go to the next level, right? Remember, when you do individual stuff, your chances are 50-50. You can lose it or you can become profitable. You can gain or you can lose, which is a 50-50, right? Now, you can take it to the next level. What is the next level? You don't want a 50-50 situation because you are now smart. You know that, okay, you know what? I want to spread my risk. I don't want to lose my money. That's the part that I now talk about, right? Because what I did was the 50-50 earlier, that I lost close to like 100,000 about 6 years ago, right? That's how I lost close to like 100,000. And then I started doing a research. I was like, okay, when they say that they invest in the stock market and people are making money in the stock market, when I look at where the multimillionaires and the billionaires on Google, when I searched, when I looked at it, I realized that, okay, number one is they say that stock market, number two is real estate, then there's businesses. How come I lost money, right? And then I dug further to understand how they invest. They do something called diversification. What does this mean? It simply means instead of you having a 50-50 situation, you're having multiple companies. Like, remember we talked about Starbucks, we talked about Coca-Cola, we talked about Walmart, we talked about Apple, right? Imagine you now having all of this. Whenever you spend that your $1, you are not just investing in Starbucks, you are investing in 500 of this company, you're investing in 1,000 units of this company, you're investing in 3,200 of this company. So it tells you it ends the old cycle of the 50-50. All right, the 50-50 of gain and loss, because now you're spreading your gain and losses across multiple companies. What does this mean? And that's what is called diversification. It means that, let's assume that the very popular one, in case who has heard about S&P 500? Put it one in the comment if you've heard about S&P 500. Put 0 if you've not heard. That's fine. The popular one, S&P 500, S&P, right? S&P. This is the, okay, perfect. 0, okay, Dr. Aviawe, that's fine. That's fine. Good that you're answering this question. Now you would know. S&P 500 is very popular when it comes to this diversification that we're talking about, because it has helped people grow their money. It has allowed people not to lose their money, right? Because it has returned close to 8 to 12%. Remember, IU savings account gives you how much? It returns 3 to 5%, and we are excited because you are able to inflation. You cover the part of inflation, but now with S&P 500, it has returned between 8 to 12%. As a matter of fact, last year it returned 18%, right? So averagely for the past 30-40 years. So a lot of people talk about it because it means that if you put your money in there, last year you would have gotten an 18%. right? It means that people that have put their money, remember I talked about consistency. People, yes, S&P, yes, S&P 500. So you can, it means that, hey, Liam, welcome, welcome. How are you? Welcome. Thank you so much for getting your daily admin. Thank you all for tapping out the live. And we are talking about how to invest, right? As a beginner investor, or smart investing and all of that. And if you haven't followed, thank you for the follow. And I'm Dr. Lina, Doctor of Business and Technology, helping you turn your 9 to 5 into real wealth. Awesome, awesome. Good to have you. Good to have you. Awesome. So what am I saying? Okay, so basically S&P 500 is a basket of top 500 companies. So think about it. As whenever we talk about ETF, right? ETF is an Ada, welcome. ETF is a basket of stocks, right? Basket of all of those stocks that we talked about earlier. Think about it, you now have the 500 of those, right? Inside one basket of that stock. So what does this mean? So like the S&P 500 has the best of the best 500 companies in the United States. Best of the best, right? Well, how do I know? Because if you're in an S&P 500, S&P 500 simply means the top 500 companies in the United States. But then there's also the part of it, it's point in time. What does point in time mean? Point in time simply means that you're telling people they are being reevaluated every quarter. So it doesn't mean that you get in there and you stay there forever, even though you are not performing. No, it means that you are constantly on your toes, right? Because you could fall off that S&P 500 the next minute. So think about companies like Google, Meta. I mean, you have Google, Microsoft, Nvidia, all of those top companies, Exxon, and all of the top US companies. That's what you find in that basket of stock, in that basket of funds, right? It's called an ETF, right? That's what you find in there. And it is returned between 8 to 12%. So think about it. You know that this has returned um, 8 to 12% for the past 30 years, for the past 40 years, averagely, remember. So there's a time we return 32%, there's a right time we return 44%. But because we are doing this as a long term, it's consistency, right? You're not doing it, you're not day trading, you're not selling, buying and selling tomorrow. So over time, so even if this year return 4% and next year return 22%, another year return 1%, and another year returns, averagely you would be in this, it's a balance. And that's why you do things called dollar cost average. You're not just doing it one time, you're doing it consistently, right? You're just doing, allowing compound interest to do heavy lifting, because you're getting this return. Come rain, come shine, you're investing, and you allow automation do the job, and you're just growing your money. You leave it, you're not looking, and you just let it grow. So ETF, right? Again, it's a basket of stocks, multiple stocks in that, right? S&P 500 is one type of ETF. Now we have several types of ETF, just in case you don't know, because some people just say they think ETF is equal to S&P 500. No, it's S&P 500 is just one of the popular ETF, right? There are other ETF. You can buy ETF of top 1,000 companies in the United States. You can buy ETF of top 500 companies in Nigeria. You can buy top companies in Gambia. Regardless, or you can decide to say that, you know what, I am buying the entire Nigerian stock market. You can say that you want to buy the entire US stock market, like a VTI. Or you know what, you might say that, you know what, I want to just do international. I'm not even doing anything US, United States. It's okay. We have stocks like that. Or you might decide to say that you want to buy the entire global market. Those are different kind of ETFs, right? The differences between A and B, right, is the only difference is that between stock and ETF is that one houses many stocks. Individual, of course, is individual stock. If it goes down, you go down with it. If it goes up, go up with it. But here, if one stock, think about it, one stock doesn't do well, right? It's 500 stocks, right? If one of those companies doesn't do well, right, and loses money, you still have 499 stocks to help you uplift and uphold that portfolio. So that is the importance, and that's why it is very, very key, right? And that's why you see it's number one, either number one or number two on the list, because it depends on where you're checking it on the investing places where the world, the multimillionaires, not the millionaires, the multimillionaires and the billionaires put their money. You find it right that the number between it and real estate, that's where they interchange. And if you see the multimillionaires and the billionaires put money in something, it tells you one thing. It tells you that it's growing their wealth, okay? Or that's what helps them to grow their wealth, right? The other thing is that they see the potential of it growing the wealth. Okay. So, and this is a strategy, and you can look him up. There's somebody called Warren Buffett. They call him the Lord of Investing because it's made billions of dollars, right? As a matter of fact, his return on investment in Coca-Cola, because he invested, one of the places he invested was Coca-Cola. As an investor, I think he made close to half like $500 million. That's what he made, like, or $200 million just in 1 year. That is how wealthy it is. And when they asked him, which stock should we pick? Which one should we invest? He just said, stop picking and choosing. Get a basket. And do not just take my word for it. Go on Google, search, and just even research about ETF and index funds, right? They're almost the same thing. The only thing is that ETF, you trade it like stocks, right? Just like stocks. Not, you can buy it right now and sell it right now, especially during the trading window, right? Between 8 and 3, right? The trading window, I always miss it because I'm in Central Time and they use the Eastern Time, right? Within that trading window, right, you can buy it and sell it right there. Hello, Monique. Welcome to the party. We're talking about how to invest as a beginner. All right. So, and that's how that's it, right? ETF is what you want to do. I can give you a quick one. S&P 500, that's a VOOIVVSPY. Another one, there's a NASDAQ 100, top 100 technology companies in the United States, right? We know AI is taking everybody's job. Technology is the future. I personally am also a doctor of business and technology, vice president of technology, and I teach AI, cybersecurity, and deep learning as well. So I know the importance of technology. So these has returned between 18 to 22% averagely as well, right? Of course, not as long track record as the S&P 500, but then you're wondering, so why should I put my money in one that returns 8 to 12%, and when I can get 18 to 22%? But also understand, the higher the risk, the higher the return, right? If the risk is higher, the return is higher. It means that you would fluctuate more than the S&P 500. And if your heart cannot swallow it, do not, right? I mean, I would rather say, instead of you picking and choosing, put your S&P 500 and as well have your NASDAQ 100 at a certain percentage, depending on your age bracket, your situation, and all of that. Then have dividends ETFs for cash flow. There's also something called real estate ETF, right? Real estate ETF, which also on property. So you don't want to deal with a tenant headache, and you don't have the capital to start investing in real estate. You start with a real estate ETF. So those are different ones. There's energy ETFs, there is Bitcoin, there is crypto ETF. There are so many. It's just, what does this help you to do? It just helps with diversification, because your chances of you losing your money is pretty low. The other part of it is you want to focus on long-term investing and consistency, right? Long-term investing, because your money is going to double. So think about it. You have $100,000. Your $100,000, let's assume, based on rule of 72, using the extreme case, 7 years, 100,000 becomes 200,000 in year 7. It doubles, right? 14 years, it becomes how much? It becomes 800, and becomes 100 to 200, it becomes 400,000. Then it gets better. Year 21, it becomes the same 100,000. You did not put any other thing. The same 100,000 now becomes 800,000 in year 21. In year 27, it now even gets better. It becomes 20, it becomes 1.6 million. The same, it's just $100, 100,000. You did not had anything. That's the same thing. That's how it is, right? That's how your $10,000 can also become $160,000. Not doing, just put it there and you let it grow. That's how you grow your wealth, okay? Because it's consistency. It is just putting in something that is safe, but it's growing steadily. Your mind is at peace and it's growing steadily. And of course, it could even be lower than that. Thank you for Gis, thank you so much for tapping out the live. And every other person, thank you for sharing the live. We're talking about how to invest smartly. So less risk and picking stock. When you pick stocks, the risk is very high, right? It's very high. It's a 50-50. You can lose or you can gain, right? But here, the risk is, remember, the risk is lower, right? Because you have so many companies that you are investing in at once. So that is the difference. And that is how you start investing, especially if you're a beginner, right? You don't have the business in you trying to look at one chart and look at this chart and all of that. No, because that in itself is going to demotivate you. You want to just start with something that is simple, right? Open your account and just simply buy ETF. Because if you see your money, let's say you put it last year, you grew 18%, your chances of wanting to put in more, right, is higher. But if you think about it, if you lose your money, right, you lose your money because you put it in an individual stock, trust me, you will never invest again, right? You will never invest again. So it's less risky, especially for beginner. So, and always remember, it is not about timing the market. Time. Remember the illustration I gave about the 100,000. I turned to 1.6 million. It's about consistency and the time. Can you imagine? See what it is. Year 1 to year 7, right? It was just the money just doubled, right? 200,000. That's it. But guess what it is at year 28? And year 28 is the extreme case. Think about what happened. That same 100,000 has multiplied itself by 16 times, right? By 16 times by year 28, right? That's what it is. That is how you grow your wealth, right? Consistency. That's why you see some people, maybe not so much high income earners, that they would become a millionaire at retirement because they're just putting something consistently and they are just ready that, okay, retirement, they might just be putting $200, $100 every paycheck. And guess what? When they get to retirement, they get to that millionaire status. So, and that's what they call them. They call them the 401k millionaires. So you will never know. They will just be driving regular car, no flashy life, no nothing, right? Because maybe, and I'm not bringing down any profession, maybe like a teacher that, we know that they should be paid higher, but, they're not super paid, right? But they will put so much, they put consistently $100 every single paycheck, and boom, by the time they are retired, they have close to they have more than $1 million in their account. So it is the time, it's compounding that increase. Maybe everything that they contributed was 100,000. But guess what? The 100,000 will become 1.6 million. Yeah, just all you contribute is 100,000, but it grows to 1.6 million. And if you put it in a Roth IRA, right? If you're in the US and you do a Roth, that is going to be definitely tax-free. Tax-free. So every capital gain, so let's assume you contribute 100,000 and it gets to 1.6 million. At retirement, you're getting your 1.6 million, nothing less. Nothing less. So that's why it's one of the world growing tax advantage accounts, right? Tax advantage account. So I was going to ask you about, oh yeah, absolutely. So you should, if you qualify for it, because I think if you're less than 150,000 in terms of income, get your Roth IRA. If you're above, if you don't qualify for it because you're 150,000 and above, then do a backdoor Roth IRA. Do a backdoor Roth. Just read about it and do a backdoor. It's a tax advantage. It's taxed from the source. So it's taxed at the beginning before you put the money on, like 401k that is not taxed. The difference is 401k, let's assume you put 100,000, it becomes 1.6 million. At your retirement, you're going to be taxed in that tax bracket at your retirement. But when it comes to Roth, because the one that you're putting in, that 100,000 is what is being taxed, right? That's what is being taxed, right? So what should you do? Basically, you just keep it. It's not not going to pay capital gain on it, and that is it's a Roth IRA is 7,500 a year, right? That's how much you can put in there. That's about $625 every single month. About 312 if you're being paid every 2 weeks, right? That's what you need to put in there. And you might be wondering, no, that sounds like a lot of money. That's like less than $20. That's less than $20 every single day. So your Roth IRA, it might just be that your lunch money that you are, or that particular coffee that you need to repurpose so that you can fund your Roth IRA and get to that millionaire status, right? That's what it takes. All right. So let's be honest. What's stopping you from investing now? Now it's your turn. Put in the comment, what is stopping you from investing? I just want to know what is in stopping you. Let's put in the comment, what's stopping you from investing right now? Just put in the comments, I'm reading. So what's stopping you from investing right now? I know we are all typing. I just stumbled on investing last week. Okay, great. So, oh, perfect. The fear. Okay. All right. You just stumbled. So you're pretty new. I opened an account with Fidelity. Okay. That's great. That is amazing. Okay. So have you funded it? Yeah. So daughter of Yahweh, yes, there is a solid fear. However, now okay, I got some ETF. My question, okay, go ahead. Yeah. And please put your comments there. What's stopping you from, okay, you funded it. Great. Yeah, put it in the comment. What's stopping you? What's stopping you? Go ahead, Seka. I'm listening. I'm just telling others. And if you want to share that your fear, right? The daughter of Yahweh, put in the comment. If you want to share that your fear, and Seka, go ahead with your question. And every other person, put in the comment, what's stopping you from investing what's stopping you from investing? Understanding that if your money is just sitting in the bank, you're losing at least 3.2999 is what you're losing to inflation. Got the information now I need to a guide to invest. Yes, so that's why we're here. Yes, that's procrastination. Okay, all right. Yeah, we'll fix that. Okay. I got ETF. Do I have to do anything or you just leave it? You already, which of the ETF did you buy? You just, I intend to, yeah. Which of the ETF did you buy? Procrastination, yeah. Those are everything, the fear, right? The fear, I don't want to lose my money, procrastination. Any other person? And second, which of the ETFs did you buy? Any other person cares to share? Put in the comment. And yes, you just leave it there, right? Just leave it there. Check it once a while. That's why I want to know what sort of ETFs did you buy, so that I can be able to you don't have to put all of the details. You can just, S&P 500 or VTI, okay, the entire US market, the bond, which is bond VX US. Okay, good, pretty decent selection. Yeah, just leave it and just let it go. All right, just let time in, let the compound interest do the job. The only other thing that I don't know if you can also have your Roth. I don't know if you've already done your Roth, or you also need to do your individual. Then you should have your individual. Yes, you should have. Okay, URT, a good ETF. I need to check that out, so I'll check that. URTH. Okay, let's see what's in there. Okay, you got Roth. Okay, maxed out. Okay, perfect. So all that you need, perfect, you're doing good. So all that you need is you need to start putting the consistency. Don't stop. Whichever, you've already maxed out your Roth IRA, so you want to also have the other account where you're putting the other money in there every single paycheck, right? Just keep funding it, right? Just put it there non-stop. Okay, so that's the other thing. Perfect. And Dr. Ozan said, I need more info on how to open Fidelity account, minimal account. Yes. So have you registered for the Smart Investing Workshop? It's on this Saturday, and I'll show you how to get there. That's all that we're doing, right? That is part of the things that we're doing. I use Fidelity, but don't know how to auto pay. So, okay, so we would have you registered for the Smart Investing Workshop? I'll show you. It's you find the link in my bio now. I'll show you. I'm thinking of reducing my 401k contribution from 10% to 5% so I can fund my beer. Okay, so I'll show you. I would let me quickly show everyone. So all of this, so you find it right here. This is my page. Since everybody's, and that is the purpose of the workshop, right? Click on it, nestyou.me, and it's okay for you to step out right now and go and quickly do it. I think we only have 7 seats left. Say, and you find it right here. The Smart Investing Workshop is free, but registration is required. So we have, I think we just have about 7 seats left at the moment. So click on it, and it's free, but registration is on Saturday. It's on Saturday, and it's going to be, you see all of the accounts that you need to open. So like daughter of Zion, daughter of Yahweh, all of the accounts that you can open, right? You would see it right there. Fidelity, go just if you need any help, call Fidelity customer service, right? But it doesn't take a lot. I can show you. It takes seconds. Put all of your information, just like you're opening a bank account. Boom, you have the account open. Then when we get into the workshop, and if you are unable to do it, right, we'll also try some of it in the workshop as well, right? We will do that. And the other part of it is we would also all of the which ETF should you buy, what is your your age bracket, all of that is what we're going to do. So if you want to go step out and get it, because we just, like I said, we have only 7 seats left. 7 seats left. Name said, I'm thinking of reducing my 401k contribution from 10% to 5% so I can fund my BR account. What's your brokerage account? Okay. So first of all, how much is your employer matching up to like 10% that you're doing right now? Right? What is your employer matching? How do you register for the workshop? I just showed you. Right here. So this is my bio, right? So you can step out and see it. On my bio, you would see it. Click on it. You'll find it right here. Open anyway. Then you would find it right here. Like I said, it's free. Registration is required. So you can go there. Like I said, we just have maybe like 7 seats left. I don't know even how many that we have. So you can just quickly grab your own set. It's on Saturday, 12 noon Central Time. Registration is required. That's all. Okay. So, where is the workshop? Okay, Seka, I hope you got the answer to. So, Nayam, I wanted to confirm, is your employer matching up to 100, that 10%? If they are not matching up to 10%, then remember what I always say is that your employer, if whatever the employer is matching, that's all that you're doing. So if your employer is just matching 3%, keep it at 3%. If your employer is matching 5% or 6%, keep it at 6%. Okay, that's all that you're doing. And then every other one, you now go to your Roth, right? Roth is tax advantage account. I'm still to find out. Yeah, okay, go and find out, right? Find out how much are they matching. That's the max that you're doing, because all that you are taking there is just that free money. What are they matching? That's it. If they don't match anything above that, you're doing excess, right? Because you remember, you are going to be paying capital gain tax at the end of the day. Now, once you have done that, now take once you get to the match, then fund your Roth IRA to 7,500. Does it work for Nigerians? You mean invest? Okay, let me finish with one first, right? Then once you get into that, then you now fund your Roth IRA. Roth IRA is the tax advantage account. All right, tax advantage account. So you know that you're getting Roth IRA because your taxes are going to be lower when it comes to the Roth IRA, and then we now go to brokerage. By the way, All of this that we are talking about, that's what we'll be talking about in the Smart Investing Workshop. So if you haven't gotten your seat, like I said, we only have 7. So go, if you have to step out, it's on Saturday and registration is required. It's free, 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 right? All these questions are going to be answered. It's a workshop, not a class. Gail says, does this work for Nigeria, right? Which of them are you asking? If it's Roth, you just need to think about the retirement plan in Nigeria or in your country. But if your question is about investing in general, absolutely. The account you need to open will be Bamboo, Investment One, Stanbic IBTC, and you can still buy S&P 500. You can buy S&P 500 anywhere in the world. Yes, you can buy it S&P 500, just it's VO. You can buy SPY, but go and let me show it again. All of this, right? You would, once you register, you would get an email, right? You get an email instantly. That email would tell you the accounts you need to open. So if you're in Europe, you are in Asia, any country that you're in, and if we do not have the list of your country in the email, send a DM and we'll give you options. You don't need to go with that. Those are just ideas, right? Of investment places and the brokerage firm that is listed in different countries where you are at. So I know in Nigeria there's Investment One, Bamboo, there's, right, and you can simply buy S&P 500 from there, right? So go on my page and you can all step out right now. Like I said, a few more seats, you would see it right here. Click on it. It's nestyou.me. Then you click on, you go here, open anyway, because it's going to try to trick you. And then you find it right here. You click on it and it's going to bring my beautiful face. You go all the way down and you will click on buy access. And you can see it's $0. You click on it and then boom, you'll be able to, it takes you, you just need to ask your email and all of those kind of things. So it literally takes you 2 minutes. 2 minutes and you're back. So if anybody wants to step out to go and quickly get their own spot, like I said, just 7 seats that are left. And once the class is full, that's it. That's it. So in the tossing, congratulations, you just secured your spot. And please do not just register, be there, right? Because it's like it's a workshop. All these questions that you're asking me, it's going to be on Zoom. It's not going to be here, by the way. It's not going to be here. It's going to be on Zoom because it's everybody across all my different platforms. Because I'm on YouTube. It's Money Talk with Dr. Lina. I'm on Instagram. I have a larger community on Instagram, Money Talk with Dr. Lina, as well. So you can hey, Oleps, you can get registered. Monjana, congratulations. You also just got your own seats settled. How are you? Welcome to the live. So good to chat with you yesterday. Great. What time is 12 Central Time? So if you are in Nigeria, that would be about 6 p.m. Is this 5 hours different right now or 6 hours difference? Right? So it will be 6 p.m. your time. I mean, it's not going to be too late, but it's 12 noon Central Time. So for anyone that is just joining, we're talking about how to start investing for beginners. So you're a beginner investor or you don't know how to start investing. There's a workshop that is happening this Saturday, May the 2nd, right? May the 2nd, 12 Central Time. It's not going to be on the platform. It's going to be on Zoom. So you don't want to miss it. We have very limited seats. I think now we have about 5 left. So take your spot. Don't just register if you know you're not going to be there. Register and be there. It's a workshop. It's hands-on. You would also get an email, right, with the list of all the different brokerage firms in different countries, right? In different, like those in the UK, you have like Trading 212. In Canada, you have like Wealth Simple. So, but you need to open those accounts before the live, right? Before the training. It's not the live, before the workshop. So because it's hands-on, right? Because we want to see, I don't know your age bracket, so we can actually talk about your portfolio, build like a portfolio. Please confirm registration. Are you Monjana? There's Monjana, there's Tostos. Monjana, there's Tostos that have, those are the two that have come. What about, absolutely, yes, it's the US, yes. Okay, yeah, Monjana, okay, Monjana, okay. Yes, the US is, Olebs, have you not registered? Okay, let me show you again. Olebs, so it's here, just the same way you did the real estate bootcamp. Click on it. And that's what I was talking about. In the US, it's 12 noon Central Time. You see it, it's right here. Smart Investing Workshop, right? And it's turn your income into real wealth. You find it right there. And you'll be able to, we just have few more seats left. So for anybody that wants to do that, it's free, but registration, you said, I just opened my first brokerage account last night. Yay! Now that's the way to do it. Congrats. Thank you so much for that. Oleps. Yeah, that's the way you do it, right? Congratulations. That's the first step. But then the next step is for you to fund it, right? That's how you do it. The first step is for you to open the account. Next step is for you to fund it. Then once you fund it, or if you put money in there and you don't buy the asset, right? The ETF, right? Then you are not growing the money. The money is just sitting in there. Then the next step is now for you to buy the ETF. I also finished the registration with funding. So yay! See, you guys are making me happy, right? You guys, because guess what? If you don't do it, remember we talk about procrastination. I'm too fearful, I'm afraid, I'm all of that. I'm too that's why it is the workshop, and that's why there is a prerequisite for it. Get the account open so that even though is I know it's off the trading window, because the trading window is during the week, right? During the week, but then at least you can set it up and know what exactly you need to implement, right? Okay, I just had an automatic deposit to my 413-507 broke. Oh, that's great. Yeah, so you've already set it up. Automatic deposit. But do you because you have funded it, but what do you do with it? Do you buy, have you started buying the ETFs, or are you buying individual stocks, right? Right, because you already have your 401k, but you might not qualify for Roth IRA, but then you can also do backdoor Roth, right? You can do backdoor Roth, but you have all of the brokerage account, you have all of that open, but then I know you have automatic deposit, but do you also fund it? I mean, do you also invest? Because if you fund it and the money is just sitting there, yeah. I invest with Wealth Simple in Canada. That's great. Currently I have VO and VDY. VO is pretty good. VDY is also a good one. So yeah, so basically, but don't just do currently, just do consistency. You are making sure that there is money going every paycheck. So as you are paying, you're getting your money, pay your taxes, also pay yourself first, right? Pay yourself first is that you are putting money in there, and it's automatically every, just like Olebs was saying, that I do direct deposit. Just like you're paying all your bills, you are also paying yourself. That's how you pay yourself. I also have I also have Roth and let the profession. That's great. Yes, that is great. You have it all settled. You have it all set up. Yeah, you have it also. I put 500 every paycheck in both my perfect, and TFSA is the Roth. Like TFSA is the tax advantage account in Canada. Yeah, way to go. Yeah, way to go. Way to go. Way to go. Yes, that's exactly what is supposed. That's the way it's supposed to be. You put the paycheck, but then make sure. Let's not forget. Sometimes people forget this. If it's just sitting there, it's not doing the growth, right? You also need to put it in ETF. So way to go, way to go. I am super excited with what I'm saying. So every other person that is just joining, smart investing, how to invest as a beginner is what we're talking about, right? Your number one step is for you to open the account. Thank you so much for sharing out the live. The first thing is for you to open the account. The next thing is for you to fund the account. And then the third step is for you to start investing, like buy. And what are the investment I talk about? The simple exchange traded fund, basket of stocks versus ETF. And thank you all for the follow. So if you have not followed, do that. Much appreciated. Follow, and thank you all for tapping out the like. Thank you for sharing the live. And we have the smart investing workshop, right? Like I said, it's free, but registration is required. You would find it right here on my bio. We just have, I think we have only 5 seats left right now. You click on it, you come here, it will try to trick you, come here, open anyway, and you'll find it right here. It's free, but you have to register. It's on Saturday, May the 2nd, and it's May the 2nd at 12 noon Central Time. It's going to be on Zoom, so it's not going to be on the platform because everyone is going to come from all of the different platforms just so we can be in one place. It's a workshop, so it's hands-on. I'm looking to invest in REITs, but I don't know how a good one. So we can just, there's so many good ones. See, the easy way for you is just go on best REIT ETF, REIT ETF. And I can already tell you, but I always, just this, an easy way for you. So you are not just, give me 1 second. There's JPM REIT. There is, we just need to, with the highest return, do you want with the highest return to date with year to date? I'm still searching, right? Okay, so there's the VNQ. That's the one coming from Vanguard, and it gives you a dividend of 3 point. It has a low expense ratio of 0.12, and it's also dividend yield of 3.8%. And I know that one is very, very popular. It's Vanguard Real Estate ETF, right? There's also there's the other one, USRT, okay? But that one, the expense ratio it's way lower. It's actually, and that's iShare Core rate. All right. So there are different ones. Um, so I know of VNQ. I know because that's Vanguard, pretty popular, right? Pretty popular. Yeah, URLT. Okay. Sorry, you asked that question earlier, and I think everybody was just looking. Was just at that point. That's Charles Schwab. Let's see. The only thing is that the expense ratio is 0.24, which is kind of so let's see. Let's see what it tracks. Give me 1 second. So it's tracking the developed market companies around the world, access to the developed in single funds, and it's growing actually, right? The total rate of return 19% in the past 1 year, which is not bad. In the past 3 years, 17%. So yeah, I think it's good. It's good. Any particular reason why you want to, right? And it's growing really. I see the graph. Let me show you. Can you see the graph right there? It's picking up. So I think it's a good one. But is there a specific reason? Because it's just saying investing in like it's especially to develop market companies around the world. But it's because it's developed countries too, like all of those that is growing in the developed world. So it sounds like a good solid investment. Okay. I hope that answers your question, cute Sammy. All right, all right, all right. So, perfect. That was okay, perfect, perfect. So let's now talk about, okay, that answers your question. Okay. Me. Raymond Pastor, what is the me? What's that mean for? What's the me for? Right? What's the me? I'm looking to yeah, what's the me for? Can you confirm? All right. So I just want to make sure. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for all tapping the live. Thank you so much for sharing the live, and so great. So like we all know that, okay, there's, you've all said procrastination, that's the reason. Somebody said the fear. We're going to address all of that in the workshop, because now you now be forced. There's no more procrastination. I think you even already opened the account now, so no more procrastination, which is great.